Afternoon, everybody. My name's Shirley O'Donahue. Welcome to our Crystal Special.
Yeah,
Yes.
hi everyone. I'm Kate Winter, and we're really excited to be here, telling you a bit about crystals and hopefully doing some readings for you, and giving you some ideas of how to use crystals in your everyday life. And hopefully you've got some questions for us. And what we're going to do is Shirley's going to tell you a bit about crystals. We're going to tell you a bit about how we're going to work with these crystal grids. So hopefully you can see all these crystals we've got laid out, and they're really pretty. We've also got some tools here. We've got some sprays, and yeah, hopefully we'll have a bit of fun this afternoon.
We've got different crystal grids that are different colours. So while you're looking at us talking, have a look at the crystal grids and see if there is a particular grid that you're drawn to, or that you're not drawn to, that you really don't like. Or we can try and do readings from single crystals as well. So we want you to have a look at that. We're also going to have a competition where we're going to pick up a crystal, and we'll just say the word competition, so you've really got to pay attention to it. And the person that comes through with the crystal that we've selected will get...
We'll get one of Shirley's books. So this is a book that Shirley... So I'm very privileged to be sitting with a famous author, but these books are great. I want these books to go because they've got pictures of me in them. But the books are great, actually. They've got loads of information and they are aimed at all levels. So you can know loads about crystals and you can know nothing about crystals, but you'll definitely get something from the books, as you will, hopefully, from what we do this afternoon.
And hopefully we'll inspire you to work with crystals as well. Hopefully
Yeah.
some of you have got your own crystals. I'm sure you have. I've got lots and lots of crystals, and we're going to go over some of the basics of crystal therapy. But we'd love your comments, because I think the information we give is personal to us. I've been teaching crystal therapy for about 25 years now, and Kate's been doing it for about 20 years.
Yeah, for about 20 years now. Yeah.
And we've taken crystal therapy into lots and lots of different arenas, and taught literally hundreds of people, I think.
All sorts of different people, yes. Yeah.
So we're going to give you some of the basics that we know, but please share any ideas that you've got about crystals and ways that you work with them as well, because we're always interested to see how other people work with them.
Yes, there's a huge amount of curiosity out there, and we get loads of people saying, we've got crystals here, what should we do with them? I'm a bit of a magpie. I will always go for the shiny stones, sparkly stones, shiny stones, and initially I never knew why I was drawn to crystals. I just was, and then obviously I did the crystal practitioner course, and I've just grown with them, or they've grown with me. I've got them all over the house, I wear them, and I couldn't imagine life without them. But they can work in other ways as well. So what we're all about really is empowering you to
use your own crystals.
Yeah, use your own crystals and understand how to work with them. You don't need somebody else to tell you what to do. It's just you've got the power within you to develop that knowledge. So, but hopefully we can give you a few pointers.
They're amazing tools to balance your emotions, and they're also fantastic, as I'm sure most of you know, to balance energy as well. So we'll be looking at sort of chakra sets and things like that, which I'm sure you're all aware of. Right now, I think we want to say hello to a few people.
Yeah, we'd like to say hello to a few people. So, yeah. So
we're just waiting for the names.
Hi. June Malkin. Hi, nice to see you. Thanks for joining us, June.
Have you got crystals, June? Let us know. Vivian McIntosh. Looking forward to teaching you, Vivian, as well.
Rhonda Robertson, hi Rhonda, lovely to see you. Lovely to see you. Paul Fowler, hi Paul, nice of you to join us.
That's the man.
Yes.
Michelle Rhodonite, that's a crystal,
lovely.
Michelle.
Beautiful crystal, Michelle. Well chosen, yes. Hi Daniela. Hi Daniela, nice to see you.
Afternoon, Daniela. Hi Holly, where are you from? Holly Johnston.
Holly Johnston.
Nice to see you. Lovely picture on the screen.
Yeah. Christine Davis. Hi, good afternoon, Christine. Let us know where you're from, everyone. Sarah Batten. Hi, Sarah. Nice to see you.
Anne-Marie Duff. Nice to be there as well. Yeah. Anne-Marie with you.
Shona Hamilton. Hi, Shona. Nice
Hi.
to see you, Shona. I hope you're all looking at the crystals, everyone, as well. Whilst we're saying a few hellos, do just have a look and see if there's anything you're
Checking
drawn
out the
to.
crystals for readings as well.
Yeah, yeah.
And June's back again. Pamela Roger,
Hi,
nice
Pamela.
to see you.
Hi, Pamela. Hi, everyone. Okay, Michelle.
Oh, are you, Michelle? I know the feeling, Michelle. I try to buy them as much as I can when I'm face to face with them, actually. But
Yes,
yeah,
it's
It is,
difficult. It's
yeah.
difficult in lockdown, isn't it? So just go with what you're drawn to, I think, and I don't think you'll just be disappointed.
No.
Just use your intuitive skills, really. Christine, hi Christine, nice to see you. Thanks for joining us. We've got a few more hellos. Lovely.
Anne Marie, you've got many. Yeah, I once you start, you can't stop. Anne Marie,
Oh, it's
you're a bit
addictive.
like Pringles.
Yeah, yes, Pringles. Yes.
Kelly, hello,
Hello,
hi.
hello.
Nice to have you here as well.
Hello, Kelly. Lovely hearts, Kelly.
Oh, somebody from Scotland.
Oh,
eh?
Scotland. My sister's in Scotland, Shona.
Bournemouth.
Bournemouth, yeah.
Is it, I hope it's nice and sunny over there. It's not so great
It's
here
not
at the
great
moment,
here.
Christine. But
I think we've put up with some weather, haven't
Yeah.
we?
no experience. That's all right, Rhonda. We'll cover some of the basics for you, and we'll also go a bit deeper as well. So hopefully, you'll get something from today.
Yes,
Worcester Park, not far
lovely.
from us.
Yeah, not
June.
far from us, June. June, we're up that way, yeah.
Dorking, we're Surrey. Dorking
We're
and
yeah.
Red Hill.
Sorry. Yeah, near Wimbledon, yeah.
Okay, so I think what we'll do is we'll kick off by just saying some of the things we want to cover, if we can, before we start. So while we're talking, please focus on the crystals on the table, and just see if there are crystals that you're particularly drawn to. Sarah, you've just said that you'd like a crystal reading. What we need is you to pick one of the grids. So we've tried to sort of make them colour coordinated in a way. So if you say like the orange one or the green one, we'll point to it and double check that that's the right one. But for the time being, we'll just start with a few basics on crystals. So what is crystal therapy? The reason we've used crystal grids today is so that you can see the way that we work with them. We actually place them around the body. A client lays on a couch and we do a treatment, and the treatment normally lasts for about an hour. So the crystal grids are usually a little bit bigger than this, so go into the energy field of the person, but these work just as well, we find. So those are grids. We have massage stones. Kate, do you want to show some of the massage stones that you can use?
It's just to show you that actually crystals can be used in all walks of life, really. I mean, I'm sure you all know that, but so this could possibly, something like this could possibly be, you use it as a massage tool. I'm a reflexologist as well, and an aromatherapist, so I do reflexology and aromatherapy, and I do zone lift reflexology as well. So I always introduce crystals into my treatments because of the qualities. So if you do that sort of thing, you can use the crystals in your treatments. You don't even have to know exactly what they're for, but if you're drawn to them, then just use them. That's really...
Yeah, they enhance the treatment,
Yeah,
whatever the
definitely.
treatment is.
So this is lovely because this is a crystal roller, and
you use it for facials or reflexology.
exactly, facials or reflexology. This is beautiful because I'm getting the property from this crystal, as well as the mechanism of using the muscles, crossing the reflex points, and the feeling, the energy that you get off the crystal whilst doing that is beautiful. This is also similar. This is a gua sha tool, and so we have the crystal energy coming from this, but also we use it in the zone facelift to address reflexology points and to address muscle structure. So that's really lovely. It's just it's a double whammy really with that kind of thing.
What we've got here is we've got all the crystal grids set up in colours, so they're almost like a chakra set. So if you were going to go with a chakra set, you would have purple, indigo, light blue. There's the purple, there's the indigo, there's the light blue over here. This is a heart chakra one. This is also a heart chakra one. We've got a solar plexus and a base, and we've got an orange one here for the sacral. So, if you're working with crystals, most people start with a crystal chakra set. and they can just use those to carry around as a power pouch or
Hi,
something.
Alison.
Hello, Alison.
Hi, Alison.
Got back from shopping.
Yeah.
Hope you've taken your mask off, Alison.
Yeah.
The other way you can use crystals is you can make sprays, and Kate's made some sprays there that she sells. Do you want to have a quick read about
Yes,
those,
yeah,
Kate?
these, I decided to make these because I do all sorts of therapies, and crystals are, I use crystals all through the therapies because they empower treatments, they empower me, they empower my clients, and they bring a beautiful energy to the treatments. So I decided, and I'm an aromatherapist, so I decided that I would make some sprays to suit me and the kind of client that I was getting, and for my family I can use them in the house. So for instance, that's a full chakra balance, and it's aromatherapy oils, no chemicals in it, aromatherapy oils, and I've empowered them with Reiki and crystals, so they bring all those energies to the table, whatever you're going to use them for. We run some spiritual development groups,
Yeah.
don't we? We have a lot of fun with those, and when we're getting people to tune in, we often just spray around, so that's a full chakra balance, and that one, for instance, is connecting with your angels and guides, so the specific crystals that we use, that's empowered with those and some oils. And if we're tuning in for meditation or doing some mediumship links, spirit links, that's always really helpful for people to draw in and you know, get into that sort of meditative state. So these are so many ways that crystals can be used. You can put them in your underwear, you can just have them to look at, and simply looking at a crystal, you find it changes your mindset because you get such pleasure from looking at something so beautiful that, you know, it just maybe takes away some of your troubles, distracts you, and then you'll be getting the energy from those crystals, which is very, it's a very healing energy. So many facets to one. It can be just one little stone, and it can do you so much good. So yeah, we would always advocate the use of crystals.
One of the ways you can make your own essences if you wanted to, or just water, is
Yeah.
just get a jug of water and put some rose quartz in it. There are some really expensive bottles that you can get now with like crystals, something like this inside them. But actually you can get a cheap drinking bottle that's just got a bit where you could normally put fruit in or ice cubes or whatever,
Yeah.
and just put some tumble stones in, and you can make your own, you'd call it an elixir.
Yes.
The only thing I'd say be careful about is to make sure that you don't use stones that are toxic. And you can easily Google them.
Or
if you know
stones that
what you're-
dissolve, like that one.
Yeah, or stones that dissolve like this, yeah.
But these, well, what we mean by tumble stones, for those who are new, are these
Yeah.
little stones. So just because they're little, you might think that they're less
They're
powerful
really-
than, for
yeah.
instance, something like that. But they're not. They're just as powerful. So you can add those to your drinking water and also your bath.
Yeah, and they're inexpensive as well. So for people just, you know, starting out on crystals, I would always say just
Red
start with
brown.
tumble stones.
Ah, so Rhonda's this red or
This
which one?
This one, I think.
Is it
probably.
Rhonda? Is it the one with the heart, or is it this one here? This red brown one here? Let us know.
And we'll do a reading.
And we
for
can
you.
we can do a bit of a reading for you if you like.
Okay, so I
Okay,
think we've got
okay.
a queue of people
Yes,
now, and Richard's
yeah.
telling us that
Yes. So
he's
why
gonna.
don't we
So
have a
just
go?
write in, and we'll do what we can. It doesn't matter if we, if you pick a grid that's the same as somebody else's, and it doesn't have to be a grid. It can just be one single crystal as well if you want. If you pick a grid that's the same as somebody else has picked, we will probably give you, well, we will give you a different reading from it, because it's about how your energies are interacting. One of the things we've been doing recently, for the last 9 months, because of lockdown, I've been teaching on Zoom, and it's just been amazing energetically how it doesn't seem to make any difference about whether we've got people in front of us or whether we're doing it distantly.
No.
So we're hoping very much that it's going to be the same for you. So Rhonda, I think it's this one, not the one with the heart, it's
Yes.
that one.
Yeah.
So, so that one that you've got there is a red. Is primarily red. It's got a Shiva stone in it, which is naturally formed by rolling down rivers, and just becomes that shape. And it's also got red calcite in it. So red for me is a really grounding crystal. So I think probably the crystals are going to be about grounding and energy for you. I'm wondering if perhaps that you've got a lack of energy somehow. Do you think, Kate?
Yes, I would. Yes, perhaps a lack of energy, or maybe a lack of focus. I don't know if you're all about in your head. If there's a lot of thought processes going on, medically, maybe being overwhelmed by things. So what I'm drawn to is drawing the energy of the head in closer, so to calm that thought process down, focus it, ground you a bit more. And actually with that grid I would go for a bit of, I don't know how much you know about crystals or what your background is, or what your sort of spiritual beliefs are, but with that I'm very drawn to a bit of ancestral healing there. I don't know what you think, Shirley.
Yeah, so Rhonda's saying yes, like a both.
Oh,
so
okay.
We were right on that.
Yeah,
really.
Rhonda.
So Rhonda, what I would say is you need an antidote to this. This is actually giving us a reading, and really in terms of what's happening with your energy right now. So what we would like you to have is something like orange, or these are jumping out at me. These are called yellow calcite or honey calcite, and they seem to me to be the sort of things that you need to uplift you. But also, maybe there is a bit of time that needs to be taken to heal yourself a little bit,
Yes.
just to sort of hibernation is the kind of word I'm
I'm
about.
I'm picking a bit of emotional, I was going to say trauma, but emotional stuff going on with you. Then that can create this overthinking, so worries, and I don't know if we want to say clinical depression, but it's a healing is obviously you must know this, that it's a process of looking within yourself and finding aids to help you understand why you're following a thought pattern, and what you can do to help it. So yes, I agree with what Shirley's saying.
I think you need uplifting, and interesting, the picture that we've got of you on the screen, Rhonda.
Lovely picture.
You're wearing the same colour as the grid that you selected,
Yes.
so don't wear the jumper either. In terms of crystals, they're very linked to colour therapy and the energy of the colour therapy as well, of the colour. Okay, so definitely in that case, carnelian would be a really good crystal as well for you to work with.
This is what I'm thinking. Well, this is what we're thinking here. So interestingly enough, before we got here, even as I woke up this morning, I thought there'd be this question coming up, and I would need to suggest a carnelian for somebody who was having emotional trauma. So the carnelian is about giving you some sort of protective energy, so protecting your vulnerability.
Boundaries as well.
Yes.
Putting boundaries in place for you, and the calcite would be very uplifting, and probably joyful is the word. It feels like there's a lot of a real lack of joy in your life at the moment, and that's probably quite similar for a lot of people with lockdown and COVID and all those worries. But if we work on ourselves, we'll be when the lockdown's over and the COVID thing's over, we'll be fit and raring to go.
Better place.
Yeah.
Yes.
So definitely, when we're suggesting these crystals to you, everybody, you can do all sorts of things with them, but it can be as simple as just carrying them around with you, nothing else than that. But often we would meditate with them and send them to a particular chakra.
I'm getting a beautiful heart off you, Rhonda. I can feel a lovely energy, a lovely character. Don't let them get you down.
Yeah.
There's a lot of beauty inside you. I can just you kind of, when you tune in, you get as you start talking, you get the feel of a person. And I feel that this, whatever it is that you're going through, I feel that this is not your true character. I feel that this is almost suppressing who you really are.
And I'm also getting the words "all things must pass." So I think you just need to think about this time next year, the way you feel will be completely different.
Yes.
So what I'll be doing is sometimes Kate and I will use things that maybe might be a bit technical. If there are things that you want to know, like how you can use crystals and things like that, I'm quite happy for Richard to put my email up, and you can email us, and we'll answer any questions
Yes,
like
definitely, definitely.
offline, just so to get you kick-started with crystals if you're not already using them, because
If
they're
there's
amazing
yeah,
tools.
yeah, there's something you need to know. Yeah, so
Okay, and also we'd like to know if there's any questions for the show as well, so please just send in questions. Shall we do the next reading, Richard, if you can put something up for us?
yeah, yeah.
Okay.
So
we've got lots of different crystals here. We've got, I think some people will know these. These are crystal skulls. These are a bit Marmite, really.
yes,
People either like them or hate them. We've got some tektites as well. These are extraterrestrial. So interesting. I've just put them near the
near the crystal skull.
Do you want to explain about a couple of them?
Yes, yeah. So here we have an apophyllite, which is well, you know, you can put your own spin on this. This is one of the first sort of stones that I was drawn to, but we've got a great angelic quality to this stone. So lots of people work with angels and guides, and when I first learnt about crystal therapy, this was one of the first stones, the individual apophyllites that we would put either side of somebody we were giving a treatment to, and call in the angels. And it was quite fascinating actually for me, because when you call in the angels with the aid of the crystals, you can feel the energy coming in, and sometimes it's so strong and so cold you need to step away from the body, because it's very protective for that person that you are giving a treatment to. So it's a very, it's almost a physical way of understanding how some of these crystals work. Would you say the same?
Yeah, and you remember what I said right at the beginning about Kate picking up sparkling crystals?
Oh, sparkling crystal, yes, sparkling crystal.
Not a dull one.
Yeah.
This is shungite, and this is very sort of trendy at the moment, as is these things. These are called charging plates. You get them in different shapes and sizes. This is a bit like a pencil holder, but it's used for charging. So we've got selenite, which has got quite an angelic energy, and shungite, which is reputed to sort of block out electromagnetic frequencies and things like that. So those are used. This is usually, I've got one of these by my computer.
So actually, initially when I started with crystals, we used to use the rose quartz for, I mean, I've still got in my house, I've got rose quartz around the TVs.
It's a good starter crystal, isn't it?
Yes, it's a good starter crystal, because it's really representative of unconditional love, and it's pink and it's pretty, but actually it's
cheap.
And it's cheap.
It's easily available.
But actually it's got a job to do. It does have a job
Especially
to do.
at the moment.
Yes, yeah, especially at the moment. Mr. and Mrs. B, hi Mr. and Mrs. B, welcome. Lovely to see you there. Yeah, so this is an orange calcite. Now this is quite interesting, because this is just a bit of a thing about what you're drawn to and what you're not drawn to. So all my life I've really disliked the colour orange. When I started doing crystals, suddenly people said they could see orange in my aura. I didn't know what they were talking about, and I was a bit disappointed because I didn't like orange. Sorry about when you're wearing orange, but but actually I'm so drawn to orange, and lots of people see orange in my aura, and orange is a very beautiful colour. So I now understand that I don't have an amount of pleasure from looking at it, and then you can draw it, then you can make the correlation to your sacral chakra, because the sacral chakra is orange, and all that it represents. So it's very spot on for me. So that's another way of interpreting what crystals do for you, what you're drawn to, why are you drawn to it. Are you drawn to the colour or the sparkle? Are you drawn to the healing qualities? So yeah, it's an interesting personal development journey, I think, with crystals.
The other thing is the shape as well. So where you've got something like this, I mean, this is this wand. Can you hold it up?
Oh
there?
yes, yeah.
So that's quite a thing, really. That one.
It's
got a breadth to it, right?
There are some huge ones actually, aren't there?
You can actually use that as a massage stone, because you've got
Yes.
these points and things like that. But what's happening with What's
There we
happening
go.
with that is that
It's got
there's a
point here
directional
and
flow
Yes.
to it.
Yes. So if you point it, yes, carry on. If you This is the directional flow, so the point is there, and then the rounded side is here. So you can use it to point, to direct the energy where you want it to go, and it's clear quartz crystal. So
and if you turn it around the other way, you reverse it, you can draw the energy away. So
yes,
if something is over energized, then you can just draw it off, a bit like a taking blood, I suppose.
yes, yes. I mean, yes. So for instance, pointing the energy at Shirley and taking it away. And with a lot of the ones, they have stones around them. So this has got some labradorite around it. So it would combine the energies of the clear quartz, which is the direction of the clear quartz, and bring in the energies of the labradorite, which is rather beautiful.
So Heidi's asking about, she says the only crystal she's got is a rose quartz and no idea what it's for. Heidi, what happens with people when they first start working with crystals is they usually buy 3 types of crystals, which are the most sort of popular, which is amethyst, which is purple. This is an example. Kate, I think probably easier to hold it because the camera's...
There you go.
This is amethyst, but that's obviously... Oh, okay, I can hold them up as well,
yes.
okay. So that's amethyst, and then we have clear quartz. I'll hold the clear quartz up. This is clear quartz. This is called a crackle quartz actually, but it's clear quartz, and so is this circular one, this one here. That's clear quartz. That can be used for scrying actually, which is like reading from crystal balls. And rose quartz. And amethyst is really good for meditating and opening up your upper chakras, which is the crown chakra, connecting with guides, doing spiritual kind of work, but it also has a protective quality. In fact, Richard's got one in the corner. He didn't know what it was when we came here, but we've told him what it's for, and it's also to deflect, does the same sort of work as shungite actually as well, so it's good for EMFs too, but it's quite a spiritual crystal. Rose quartz is unconditional love, so it's just generally loving. It works with the heart chakra in particular. And the clear quartz is purifying and clearing, but also energizing. So most people start off with those 3 crystals, I would say.
Yeah.
Would you?
Yeah. So Heidi, if you've only got a rose quartz, it's a pretty lovely. It's a pretty lovely stone to be your only crystal. And I know people put crystals all around the house, in all sorts of odd places. But I always find that I don't want too many in my bedroom. In fact, I don't want any in my bedroom. The only one really I'd have in my bedroom would be a rose quartz. And I give them to people who come to me, especially if you, they have a lovely energy anyway. So, but if you put them by your bed, if you are having emotional problems, it's a very supportive crystal. It's a beautiful energy that emanates from the rose quartz crystal, isn't it? Always. Yeah. I mean, people get a bit blasé about them because they're so, they're such a popular crystal. You always see them. They're not unusual, but they all have this energy that comes off them, and the rose quartz is a really supportive energy. So what we'd suggest is anybody who has emotional problems, always make sure you've got a rose quartz around about the place, but particularly to support your sleep process, because that's when your body gets its rest and when you can absorb the energy coming off those crystals.
It's a good crystal for the family home as well, and a good crystal also for a therapy room as well. So if you do treatments of any sort really, it's a good crystal to just have on a windowsill. Sometimes we get, I've got sort of what I call statement pieces, which are big ones, a bit bigger than this even really, but I have those sort of lying around, and they just sit quietly in the room radiating a particular energy, and that's really all they do. And one of the things to remember is that, as Kate said, a little tumble stone like this can be just as powerful as a big crystal. It's not a question of the bigger the crystal, the more powerful it is. It's actually the accuracy of getting a crystal that is the right one for you, that's working with your energy. Yeah, so Heidi says that, if you have it on your desk, Heidi, and touch it when you feel drawn to, I mean, that's working. This is what we're all about really, is working with it intuitively. So you don't need someone to say, you've got to do this, you've got to do that. No. Work for what feels good in here and in here, so you're doing exactly what you should be doing to it.
Can you just check that your microphone is on, please?
Okay, so what have we got? Anybody else now, Richard, who'd like a reading? I've seen a couple of people come up, but we've lost that on the screen. So Pamela, okay. So you keep amethyst and kyanite by your bed, do you, Pamela? Okay. Well, I would be a little bit careful with that when you're working with crystals. You may well find that it affects your sleep patterns, and if you're finding that. You might do a lot of astral travel and wake up tireder than you want to do in the mornings, or you might have trouble waking up. You can do something called programming your crystals. So you can ask the crystal to switch on when you go to bed to help you sleep, and then maybe switch off like you would switch off get an alarm to go off at 7 o'clock. And always remember to keep cleansing your crystals as well. I guess it's kyanite, I think, that you're talking about, which is a blue crystal, a sort of lovely sparkly blue crystal. Kate would love it, and that's quite good for astral travelling as well. So yeah, just don't overdo it when you go to bed.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, we've got another reader coming up now, so we just wait for that. Okay, Paul. Right. Okay. So should we do both? Sure. So the purple sun, okay.
And orange on your far left.
Okay, so you love that. Okay, so I'm gonna talk about this first, and then Kate will do the. I think it's the. Is that your one?
Yes, I'm looking at the orange, but I don't know what the purple is. Is that sun? Is that meant to say skull? Do you think?
Is this where I say competition?
Yes.
I think it is, isn't it? Yeah. Okay, so Paul, this is a crystal skull. And the energy for this is, as I said, quite marmitey. Some people love them and some people hate them. People sort of see them as quite fearful things, and they're not actually. They're supposed to be, crystal therapy goes back as far as, well, certainly Egyptian and Mayan times, but it goes back, if you believe in Atlantis, people believe that crystal skulls were very present in Atlantis, and they are a bit like computers are for us now. They're like a hard drive that holds information that's being given to us. So that's really what it is. It's not connected to death and anything threatening at all. It's actually representing knowledge. And some people will say it's extraterrestrial knowledge as well. So it's alien. It has an alien quite type of energy. For this, I think whether you've seen it or not, that's the crystal that's here. And there's also something called geodes that we've got here. These are called Moroccan geodes. I'll just lift it up so Richard can get a picture of it. These are called geodes, and they generate lots and lots of energy. So the fact that you're drawn to this layout, for me, makes me feel that perhaps you are already on a spiritual path, and that you're ready to kind of move up a notch. I think lots of people are at the moment. There's huge energy changes going on around the planet, and most people are upgrading whether they're aware of it. So they may be changing guides, they may be finding their connections much deeper, they may find that their energy has got stronger. And what I feel from this layout for you in particular is that you need to move on to new guides actually, and start to work with them in a slightly different way to the way that you've worked with them before. I don't know if you do mediumship or anything like that, but I'm getting the words philosophy as well from it. So you may find that rather than it being connecting with people that have passed on, it may be that you're more drawn to the philosophical side of mediumship. That's what I'm feeling with that. Yes. I'm going to hand over to Kate now.
Well, I think that's great, Shirley. I would agree with all of that, but Paul is saying that he's hugely drawn to the orange on the far left. So I was just listening to what Shirley was saying whilst I was thinking about this and tuning in. So with the orange, what I feel is that this process perhaps needs to be gone through before you are able to do that process. So for me, I wonder if life has been a little dull or a little joyless for you, and what I feel as I tune in further is that I don't know, I feel that you've got a huge amount of creativity within you that doesn't seem to have an outlet, or doesn't seem to have its true outlet. And
It's almost like writer's block, isn't it? It's
I
almost
feel
like,
that.
yeah.
So all of that stuff that Shirley said is really exciting. So I feel that that's your potential, and I feel that this is perhaps something, a bit of a hurdle for you to. This would be the unblocking element for you to enable you. Please do give us feedback, because you know, I hate to be on the wrong track, but I feel within you is creativity and joy for me, and that you need to explore that a bit more, let it out.
Maybe balance that as well with the spiritual, because the spiritual stuff doesn't need to be dry and serious.
No,
does it? It
no.
can be fun and
Exactly.
joyful.
Yes. Yeah, we have quite a lot of fun together.
We do, we do.
Shirley's very rude to me all the time, so she has quite a lot of fun at my expense.
Yeah, that's more like it. So a bit of balance perhaps as well. You know, don't go into it taking it all too seriously.
Yes.
You know, there needs to be joy in what you do as well. I mean, when I feel that I connect with my guides is when it makes me feel the most joyful, really.
Yes.
And when I find that the current situation we're in gets me down, I tend to sort of go in and try and make connections to my guides, and I always feel much better afterwards.
Yes.
So for me, it's about a balance of both, I think.
Yes, but this is I'm not advocating going off clubbing and enjoying yourself that way, getting off your face, that sort of thing. But the joy for me here is what's inside you. This is about unlocking your potential and unlocking your true character, so that you can shine. So that you can shine for yourself.
Yeah, I've got the light. I'm getting the words. Let the light shine.
Let the light, yes,
yeah.
And not behave like you think people need you to behave, or people want. We're very locked into a traditional way of living, and letting ourselves go and releasing our vulnerability. Because I feel that if you do let yourself go, you'll release your vulnerability, and it'll be on show to a certain amount, and then then you're afraid of judgment. Don't be. This is a beautiful soul here, and around this orange orb are the carnelian stones that we talked about earlier, which are this gentle orange. So they are all also about your sacral chakra, and so they are in a sort of satellite around this beautiful orange calcite. So for me, there's that protective layer. So however you feel that you're not able to do this, you have that kind of inbuilt protection that will protect the path, the journey that you're meant to be on. So just don't be afraid. There's a lot of fun there for you.
I wonder if Paul worries too much. I was getting the words carefree while you were talking.
Yeah.
And it's almost like maybe trying too hard to connect to this will actually stop you.
Yes.
I always find when you work with spirit, you know, you just have to trust and let go.
Definitely.
And it feels like there's a process, something around that as well, letting go, letting go of worrying about what people think about you, letting go of worrying whether you're going to get it right or wrong, because that gets in the way of you getting the information through as well.
That's right, because prescriptively, if you look at the chakras, they're about certain things. You know, the heart chakra about emotions, blah, blah, blah. But if we've had past hurts or past bad experiences, we hold on to that in our weak points within the body. So, you know, you can have had, not you particularly, Paul, but say somebody has emotional trauma, which is pretty spectacular. You're going to hold on to it until you've worked through it, but you don't necessarily need to hold it on in your heart. It will go to your weak spot, so you could hold on to it, you know, in your base chakra or just anywhere else in the body. So I think, Paul, maybe some clearing, cleansing, some working through your stuff. It doesn't have to be major stuff, I don't know. I just feel that there's a block there, and there's all this sunshine ready to come out. So
and just to go back to this one again, so much energy there, so much power, I think.
Yes.
So the where you're going to be going with your spiritual development seems, you know, quite exciting.
Yes,
for me.
yes. And then if you can't do any of that, watch Frozen, because there's a song in there about letting go. So if all else fails, do that.
Get Kate to sing it, actually, but I won't inflict that on you.
No, I think you might all leave if I start singing that.
Okay, Richard, can we have another reading?
Hope that's okay, Paul. Good luck with that, and let us have any feedback.
Yeah, please do.
Yeah.
Did you want people to send in their pictures of crystals as well?
If people want to,
Yes.
Richard's just asked us if we want people to send in photos of crystals. If you want us to do a reading from that, we can.
We can have a go.
As well, we can
yes.
have a go.
Yeah. Do you want to just tell about this charging? We just mentioned it briefly. This charging plate. Do you want to say a bit about that, Shirley?
Well, I mean, what it is
People
with
won't know.
selenite, it has quite an angelic. Well, I feel it has quite an angelic quality, and what these are fairly sort of new on the market. You get these sort of things that come through, and suddenly every wholesaler's selling them. But you just put the crystals on them. I mean, these are nice because if you want to put something like this, which would normally roll about, you can just put it on, and actually it makes the crystal look quite nice as well. So it sort of mounts it. I mean, selenite's an amazing crystal anyway, because if you put light underneath it, which I haven't brought today, what happens is it lights up, and it lights up beautifully, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's amazing.
So, it's a lovely crystal, and they're not very expensive either.
So
Paul's just saying.
Oh,
Oh no,
yes.
it's Paul.
Oh, no,
It's
that's still
the
Paul.
same.
Yeah, if you with the selenite crystals, often you'll get them in the shape of an angel, and if you just put a little white light or even a coloured light, and you get the tiny little plates that have got little bulbs in them, and then you
Light
put
boxes, they're
yes,
called.
light boxes,
Yeah.
and you just put the crystal on them, and if you put I think you've got one, haven't you?
Yeah.
There's a tall, Shelley's got a tall selenite angel on a little white light box, and it's got this really ethereal quality. It's beautiful, isn't it?
It is,
Yeah.
especially in a dark corner.
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
that
yeah,
lit up.
yeah, exactly, yeah.
So yeah. So what we could do is we could just talk about a few more of these shungite stones. There's loads of them on the market. These can be used for massage as well, and they're very similar to basalt that you use for
Yes, for hot stone
therapy.
massage. Yeah.
So hot stone massages, if anyone's having hot stone massage, you've actually had a sort of a crystal therapy treatment.
Yes, it's introducing a crystal into the treatment, so you know it empowers it with that energy. But did we talk about the electromagnet, putting that around the yes.
Yeah.
So they're very powerful.
When you choose crystals, you know, if there are some that you're not drawn to, that says an awful lot about you as well. So do you want to talk about this one? We were doing
Yes.
we were doing tuning into crystals, and I'll put it here so Richard
Thank you,
can give a
Paul.
photo
Thank you
of
as
it.
well.
Thank you, Paul. Hope it helped. Oh, okay. So we were right.
Oh, good stuff, Paul. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm in the middle of the process for sure. Play at the moment. Thanks.
So
Good. Well, just take that
Yes.
and really, Paul, you know, your spiritual development's going to go leaps and bounds. Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
This first, then that.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh, and there's the creativity.
Yeah,
So just a musician with a reduced outlet.
Yes. Okay. So that's yeah.
So that fits with the creativity as well. I'll just talk about this one because Kate picked this. Now this is
Hi Lisa. Hi Lisa.
Hi, Lisa.
Nice of you to join us.
Hi,
Hi
Stacey.
Stace. Hi Stace. Don't worry about being late. It's fine.
It's fine.
Hopefully-
it's fine. It's the
hopefully there'll be-
competition Stace.
Yeah. Yeah. No, she hasn't missed it yet. No.
Yeah, well done.
Oh yes, competition. So,
Oh,
we've got competition on at the moment. These books that you can see here are written by the lovely Shirley. Yes, my famous author friend. And I only hang about Shirley because she photographed me.
Kate's in it.
Photographed me in the book. So there's 3 pictures of me in the book. That's why I'm friends with Shirley. But we're going to give one of these books away today as a competition prize. And so when we hold up a crystal and say competition,
Which I've done already, but I'll do it again.
but you do it again
Yeah.
for those people
I'll do it
who
for
came
Stace.
late.
So
Yes,
pay
do it for
attention,
Stace.
Stace.
Pay attention, Stace.
So what I'm going to do is just talk about this crystal because Kate normally goes for all these fancy sparkling
I
crystals.
do.
She's a bit of a
I'm a
magpie.
sparkle person.
And she picked this up when we were doing some crystal readings a few weeks ago, didn't
Yes.
you?
Yeah.
And because she didn't like it. So
I
do you want to,
yes
I'll pass it
yes
over to you.
okay. So
You wanna say- tell
I
people
don't know
what
if
it's
Richard
called?
can get a picture of that, but it is called Muim. Now this is not the sort of stone that I would ever go for, even though I'm a crystal practitioner, a crystal therapist, and I do know that there are crystals that you like and crystals that you don't like. So this stone I was just drawn to. We were doing readings over Zoom for people, and I was just drawn to this stone. And I know that if I'm drawn with that kind of strength, that I can learn something from it. It needs reading. It would definitely needed it for this person I was reading for. And I think this does me good. This has done me good, and I got a very, very powerful reading from this stone, and it's not something I ever go for. So the lesson for me, the continuous lesson for me, is just go to what you're drawn to. It doesn't matter if it's the sort of thing that you like or if you don't like. You know, that's we tend to be drawn to what we like because that's where we are in space and time, so we're very comfortable how we are. However, not a lot of us like change. Change is good. Change is good, and it draws us along the line. And sometimes we need to kick up the proverbials to get us onto that journey or that path, or however you like to, whatever sort of terminology you like to put to it. But so this, I think this did that a little bit for me, gave me a bit of a kick, even though I was reading for someone else.
So often the ones that you're not drawn to, if it's a very strong reaction, that's usually getting you to face the things that you need to do. You know, like I've just finished the accounts, which I should have finished months ago, but I keep putting it off because I hate doing them. So sometimes you need a bit of a kick, like Kate said.
She can't even think of my name, you know.
Whereas most people might go for rose quartz because it's sort of unconditional love, but it's not a very challenging crystal in some cases. So you know, what you want sometimes is if you get a crystal that there is a real adverse reaction to, you need to explore what that adverse reaction is about, as well as going for the ones that make you feel good.
Yes, and I think, you know, getting a little bit serious, things that happen in our life, if we're not reflective and we don't see counsellors or however we get rid of this stuff, we tend, because we don't want to revisit it because it's painful, we tend to just push it down and maybe compartmentalise, pop it in a box and not address it. And we don't want it to come up again. But I'm a homeopath, and in the homeopathic philosophy there's something that I use within all my therapies, this direction of cure from inside out. And so to bring stuff up, you address it to be able to let it go. And sometimes the crystals that we're not drawn to, that we actually say, whoa, I just don't want anything to do with that, could be one of our biggest lessons and one of our biggest healers. So never dismiss a crystal that you don't like the look of.
Yeah, always go with the ones that you get the strongest response to.
Yes, exactly.
And never pay for a lot of money for crystals if you can't afford it.
No.
You know, I always, if it's needed,
yes,
then you go back to the shop when you can afford it, or the money will come.
Yeah.
So,
Hi Rebecca. Nice to see you.
Nice to see you. Big hand wave there.
Big hand wave, yeah.
And wave back.
Yes.
Okay. So we're on SPTV at the moment, and we're waiting for the next reading, really.
Yes. If you want to contact Spiritual Psychics TV, it's info@spiritualproductions.co.uk. So feel free to send in any questions.
That's for the images.
Okay.
Oh, for images. Okay. So that email, info@spiritualproductions.co.uk. If you want to send in some photographs of your crystals.
Oh yes.
What we'll try and do, if you don't know what they're called as well, we'll try and give you the names. I can't promise because it depends on the quality of the photographs as well.
Exactly.
But we'll try. One of the things about crystals is knowing their names, because then you can work out the hardness on them. So there's something called the Mohs scale, which is MOHS. And that tells you where they are on the Mohs scale, and one crystal can scratch another if they're different. So you should never put crystals all together in a bag and jingle them around, because you can damage them. So Christine's come through, and she's drawn to the gold ones in the front. Christine, I'm assuming it's the one with the heart.
Yeah. Can you just point to it?
This one. I'm assuming it's this one. So if you can just quickly confirm that before we go straight into doing a reading for you, that would be great. Otherwise we can just go in and start doing the reading. For me, anyone that is looking at that, for me, it feels to me like it's got quite a lot of masculine energy. And so I feel like, She's
Okay,
confirming
yeah.
it is that one, okay. So it feels to me like you need to stand your ground a little bit. I think there are maybe people that are pushing your boundaries a little bit, and I think you're a very kind person, and I feel that sometimes you can be a bit put upon, and sometimes you need to say no to people, and I think you find that hard. Christine's agreeing, I think. I think you can find it quite hard to say no to people and stand up to people. So those crystals there are giving you energy and personal power, I think. Have you got anything you want to...
Yes,
Okay.
definitely. I feel some assertiveness. Go on an assertive course, Christine, just to tell these people that I think you could easily be taken advantage of. You're the sort of person who
She's
perhaps,
too kind.
but yeah, too kind. You perhaps put other people's well-being above your own. It's just the feeling that I get, and this is linked with your heart as well, emotionally. So if people ask you to do something, if you don't want to do it, you say yes, and you'll hold it emotionally. Maybe you could feel resentful, or just feel, actually not. No, I don't think that. I think it's self-worth. So that what I want to give you is a big fat dose of self-confidence and self-worth, because I don't know what's gone on here, but yeah.
I think also when she's with people, she puts on a front where she's like everything's okay.
Yeah.
And I think sometimes maybe it's not, and you need people.
Yeah.
Christine's agreeing with us.
Yes.
So I think you need to be able to find a few people that you can unburden yourself to.
Yes.
Christine, funny enough, Kate and I do that. We when we are going through something that's making us angry, and it's maybe linked even to family or work or whatever. I can use Kate as a sounding board, and Kate uses me as a sounding board, and we kind of release a lot of it, and we can untangle our thoughts a little bit. And I think you need somebody like that.
Yeah, somebody
Sounding
really.
board for you.
One of the most important things there, somebody who's not judgmental. So I know if I tell Shirley my problems, Shirley will often come up with some sort of constructive advice, or just listen to me. She never judges me, will never do that, and that's what I feel that you need. And maybe not even advice, because other people's advice, one man's meat is another man's poison. So what somebody would do wouldn't necessarily be right for you. So inside what's right for you. But I want to give you a hug, really, and say, actually, you're worth so much more than you think you are.
Yeah. And choose that person carefully, because I think sometimes you're too quick to trust people.
Yeah. I would say that as well. Yes.
Choose that person carefully as well. So don't. It's not the first person you see. Just wait until you get a nice feeling about somebody.
Yes,
and you need to be there for them as well. So I think it needs to be reciprocal, really.
Yes,
So
and bringing a male energy into a grid for a person is bringing a logical side in, a logical, more grounded side, without being sexist or anything. It's just just our terminology, and maybe I don't know if it's acceptable or not, but it's that sort of energy, because maybe the men are about the head and the women are about the heart, and I know there's mixes, and that's just categorising it a certain amount, but it's a way of us being able to explain to you to be able to harden up a little bit, just be able to stand your ground, and to stop people taking advantage of.
So she trusts easily and gets hurt. So
that's
what I mean about.
Exactly. So
it's very important you choose the person that you can talk to carefully.
Yes.
Yeah.
Don't trust. My daughter says that to me. She says, you just trust everyone, Mum, until they give you reason not to, and you shouldn't.
Yeah.
But if it's part of your character, it's a very difficult thing to do. But just think a little bit before you unburden yourself to somebody who's going to then stand in judgment, and instead of you feeling that release from doing that, it's going to make you feel worse.
Yeah.
And then you hold that in your heart, and it's not good for you. It's good for you to be able to get it out, but still maintaining your lovely character.
Christine, when you're thinking about who it is that you can work with in that way, in the way that we've described, take the feeling to your solar plexus, okay?
Which
And
is here.
just-
Which
and
is,
just-
if you don't know,
Sorry,
this,
yeah.
this is your solar plexus here, just under your breastbone here. That's where, right in the centre.
And you know, we talk about a gut instinct. Just try and see if you can feel it there rather than in your heart, because I think your heart is very sort of open, and you probably find it quite difficult to think bad things about people.
Yeah.
So you go a long way before you suddenly realise that somebody is probably not doing things in your best interest.
And you don't have to actively dislike someone. I find that what all this has taught me, and we've all been through some pretty bad experiences, it's just you withdraw from that, you withdraw yourself from that arena. You don't get embroiled in hating people or disliking people, or people, how could they have done that to me?
Withdraw.
You just think, don't want to go there, just going to keep my vibrations high, just think above that. It's not worth going there, because you don't want to be drawn into their little world. What you're about
Otherwise,
is
you
empowering
can go,
yourself.
You can go into sort of victimhood and
Yes,
martyrdom,
yeah, exactly.
and you're too nice for that, Christine. Just go and find
Yes.
the right people to be around.
Yes.
And just one more thing. Although you've got lots of golden crystals here, I feel like this calcite, this honey calcite, would be really good for you as well, or citrine, which is quite an uplifting crystal. It's still
Yes.
yellow. It's
Yeah.
interesting. I'm not drawn to any other coloured crystals.
No,
for
no,
at the
that's what
moment.
I'd like you to have with.
I just feel that you need a bit of upliftment
Yes.
as well, and a little bit of self-confidence, and self-belief.
A true Cancerian, very like my daughter Christine. Yes, I understand those traits very much so. So I hope that's been helpful for you, and
motivational as well.
and
just,
motivational, yes,
almost
because
a little bit like a motivation.
it's all there within you. Just it's up to us. We can't get answers from outside. We have to take the first step ourselves. So that's so. Your character is very obvious to us, isn't
Yeah,
it?
it is.
So
Christine.
yeah, hopefully you can take some of that.
Okay. Have we got any pictures, Richard, yet coming through?
If you can just ask people that they have to attach them to the email and not paste them in an email, because they can't.
Okay, we need the pictures to be attached and not pasted into an email, so that Richard can actually get them up on the screen for us to have a look at, if that's okay, guys.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
we've got one coming up. Pamela's coming up now, I think. We're just
Yeah.
waiting for it to come up on the screen, Pamela, so if you can bear with us.
Yeah, hopefully we'll get that through in a minute. It's good.
No,
We
it hasn't
can't
come through
see.
yet, Richard.
It's going to test our skills, isn't
Yeah.
it? Shirley is really the true crystal queen. She's known in our area as Crystal Shirley.
I've probably got another few names.
Oh,
as
you
well,
probably
haven't
have got
I?
another few names, but nothing we could mention on air.
No. We've got, while we're waiting, we'll just sort of talk a little bit about the websites that we've got, really. We've got, they'll be coming up later on, but we've got a couple.
Oh, it's like an amethyst.
That's amethyst. That's an amethyst geode.
It's beautiful.
That's a big version of this one that we've got here, these little ones.
Yes.
And I've got one like that in my living room, and that I program that to come on when I'm teaching. So I ask it to sort of, when everybody comes into where I teach, it comes on and it starts generating lovely spiritual energy, and then when everyone goes away, it switches off again.
Yes.
So that's the way I work with it. Amethyst is really protective, so you can ask it to be a protective quality if you've got it in a particular part of your house. You might want to put it into a room where you meditate a lot, because it would be quite good for that, wouldn't it, Kate?
Definitely, yes, definitely. It's a great eye opener. I call it the eye opener, but it's not particularly your physical eye. It's your third eye. Although the colour would relate to your crown chakra, it is often when you hold it or meditate with it or you're in its energy, people often see this a picture of an eye right in front of their brow chakra. If you've got your eye closed, you get this big eye, and that's just showing you that it's addressing your intuitive skills. It's widening your intuitive skills, your
Or you might
sixth
see
sense.
purple.
or you might see purple. Yes, but very healing energy as well. I love these. They're beautiful. Great show stones as well, aren't
Very
they?
heavy. Very heavy as well. So wherever you put it, just leave it there. Don't keep moving it around.
Yeah.
And we'd also like to, on Richard's behalf, thank all the patrons who support this channel too, who make this shows like ours possible.
Yeah,
So
definitely.
thank you for that.
Thank you. Yeah, lovely, Pamela. Beautiful, beautiful crystal. So I wonder if we've got any other
Anyone else wanting
reading
readings?
requests. We might.
We're just waiting for some to
I just
Richard just said we're demanding.
we're
Should we
difficult to work
should we
with.
show people that piece of fossilised wood? That might be interesting for
This
people
one.
to see.
I was just going to say.
Do you want to talk about that?
I was just going to. Well, do you want to? Do
Okay.
you want to?
This is quite a good grounding. We've got that's Christine.
That's all right.
She's
That's
coming
from the
on,
last one.
yeah.
That's from the last one.
So this is a piece of fossilised wood. This is
It's beautiful.
It's really good for grounding, and it's got loads of quartz, and you can see all the tree roots. You know, like if you cut off a slice of a tree, you can see all the insides. It's really beautiful. That's what it looks like from the other side. I use that a lot for grounding.
It's amazing, isn't it? It's
and
amazing that fossilised wood.
helping me to
That
focus.
fossilised wood would just have these crystals in them. It's beautiful. It's very beautiful. It makes a nice stand for your drink as well when you have your G&T in the evening. When Shirley has her G&T.
Actually, when I went to Arizona, and we went down Monument Valley, and there's loads of trees that have just fallen over, and they've all gone like that.
Yeah, have they?
Yeah, amazing.
Yeah.
Absolutely amazing.
That's incredible.
Okay, so Pamela,
Oh, what's in your bedroom?
what's in your
Pamela?
bedroom?
My
then,
bedroom,
Pamela?
my favourite.
Now, Pamela, I think, came on earlier and was
Oh no,
saying,
it's
could we
the
pick one?
amethyst. That was the amethyst.
Oh, it's in
Pamela
the bedroom.
Pamela
Okay,
having amethyst.
Pamela.
My goodness,
Okay.
Pamela, that's a heavyweight to have in your bedroom.
Yeah.
I wonder if
Yeah.
you're a big dreamer. Do you
Yeah.
think?
Well,
A dreamer in astral
travel.
travel.
Yeah,
Yes,
definitely.
Yeah. For
Like I
those.
say, don't get too tired, Pamela.
No, too.
Yeah, you can meditate with it, Pamela. You don't need to hold it. You can just connect with it through your third eye.
Yes.
So just make your intention that you're going to connect with it, and you know, maybe we could show people a couple of energy sensing exercises.
Well,
if you're
I
Yeah.
wondered if we could do that.
but yeah, if you have it and just focus on it, just focus on what it looks like even, but draw the energy to your brow chakra. That should help with your meditation. It should help you go deeper and be calmer as well.
If you felt that you wanted to connect with it, you could
Yeah.
just put one hand on it, and
Yeah. People like that.
we for our crystal students, we always do the we get them to choose one crystal that they like and one crystal that they don't like, and using one crystal at a time, we get them to breathe in the energy of the crystal, so they visualise it going around their body and then out into their aura, and then we get them to change round and pick up the other crystals. So that gives you the difference, the feeling within you, the difference between the crystals that you like and the crystals that you don't like.
But also, to sort of just illustrate, you know, we've been able to tune into the crystals on your behalf, and you're not with us. So
Yes.
you know, it's an amazing way of what is happening energetically is amazing. With teaching over Zoom, we both can't get over how
Amazing.
easy it is to teach spiritual development and
Yes.
channeling and so on.
Doesn't make any difference to the energy.
No.
You still pick up
No.
the energy, so we're still picking up your energies even though you're not in the room with us. So it just goes to show, and that's the power of intent really, isn't it?
One thing, Pamela, I'd say about your amethyst as well, don't put it in the window in full sunlight because it will fade. Okay. If you put crystals in full sunlight, it's not good
Yes.
for them, and particularly amethyst, it can go a sort of browny colour. So
Yeah.
keep it out of direct sunlight. It's okay to put it in there to sort of charge it if you want to, but yeah, not in full sunlight all the time.
Yeah.
Okay, we've got another reading coming up.
So
Daniela.
we've got a question from Daniela, which
She sent a picture of her crystal.
Oh,
has
we
she?
got-
Okay. We're getting.
Okay, we're just waiting for. Okay,
Oh,
so
okay,
that's
that looks
celestite.
celestite, doesn't it?
Very spiritual.
Wow,
Daniela.
Daniela.
Yeah, lovely, lovely crystal. It's one that you can't put underwater because if you put it underwater, it will start to break away. So it's quite, and I was talking about the hardness scale a bit earlier. It's a soft crystal, so it can get scratched very, very easily. So keep it away from everything else and keep it very well protected. People often get the celestite, which is spelt like celestial, like the sky. I always think of it as celestial, like it's blue, like the sky. But people get confused with that and selenite, which is this white one that I'm holding up, because selenite, it sounds the same, but this begins with an S and that one begins with a C.
Yes.
And I think it's a very powerful crystal. I think it's a crystal that helps you move through change. I know it's could be linked to the throat chakra or possibly even the brow chakra. For me, it's probably linked to both and pulls both of them together so you can actually speak your truth. And also maybe very good for sort of creativity as well. But it's a crystal that I think also helps you deal with change and transformation, because I think it has a slightly angelic quality to it.
I think so, yes. For me, I often get spirit links through a celestite. I love it. I just think it's I have that connectivity to spirit with a celestite. But we are saying what it does for us, but it can do something different for everybody. It just depends, because we're all wired differently. It just depends. But there's no doubt about the fact that it's a very beautiful crystal and a very pure crystal.
And Daniela, I wonder if it's been instrumental in opening you up to spirit, actually, because it looks to me like it's a flower that's just sort of opening up.
Yes.
To me, it looks like a crystal companion, really, on your spiritual journey.
Yes.
So it may well be that if you're working, doing mediumship, studying that sort of thing, that's where it will kind of come into the forefront. In fact, the more I'm talking about it, the more I feel that it would really help you with mediumship.
Yes, definitely.
Because you'd be working through the thymus, which is another sort of crystal chakra that is starting to sort of kick in. There's lots of new chakra called transpersonal chakras that are around now that are starting to open up again. And I feel that would really sort of move you on quite a lot if you either have desires to do mediumship or if you're already doing it. I have a feeling she might already be doing it.
Yes, I don't know if any of this resonates with you. Oh, is she?
Maybe.
Oh, well,
Okay.
This could be instrumental in unlocking your potential, Daniela. So, so definitely meditate with the crystal. If meditation is what you do, if not, don't let that put you off. All you need to do is just sit somewhere quiet and hold the crystal. Just make a note. Just be aware of how you feel. That's all you have to do. You could feel hot or cold, or the stone could feel particularly heavy, or you could feel, or you could start to see things. You could work in a visual way, in a clairvoyant or a clairsentient way, clairaudient, all of those kind of things.
One of the things you can do if you've got crystals at home right now is we'll just show you a very brief energy sensing exercise. It's going to be difficult for us to get feedback, but we'll just give you an indication of what we can do, how you can do it, and then perhaps you can play with your crystals at home. If anybody's ever seen people doing Tai Chi, where you work with the Chi ball and you do this and you put your hands together, almost as if you, Daniela's saying it makes her feel peaceful, so it's a good way to connect.
That's good, Danielle, yeah.
If you put your hands together and you just see if you can feel your chi flow, and it feels like a balloon. It feels like I've got two magnets that I'm trying to push together.
Yeah.
And if you can get a sense of that, if some of you will have already done this anyway in spiritual development, because it's quite a common exercise. And if you haven't, if you go on YouTube, there's more of instructions on how to do it. But if you can feel that sense between your hands, and then you put a crystal in between, you will feel a difference in the energy. So when I put that crystal in between my hands, I can feel my hands being pushed back further. And if I pick something like this, and I put this in my hands where I'm just feeling the energy, it brings them closer because it has a grounding quality. So that's a really good way of getting to know your crystals.
Yeah.
So Daniela's saying she has visions sometimes.
Richard, can we go back to the previous comment? Daniela's previous comment. She says she has Dunbarite and there's another crystal.
very high vibrational.
Selenite.
Oh,
so
okay.
you've got selenite and
Oh, Daniela, if you're only just on the spiritual path.
Daniela, you are a space cadet in the making.
So selenite is very spacey. When we talk about space cadets, we talk about people that are drawn to crystals that are all going to stimulate the upper chakras,
Yeah.
as opposed to crystals that like reds and browns and oranges and so on that stimulate the lower chakras. And so you probably need grounding looking at those crystals.
Yes.
But selenite and danbarite looks a bit like this crackle quartz actually, sometimes anyway. But all of those are quite high, what we would call high vibrational. So
yes.
if you're not doing mediumship now, you jolly well should
Yeah,
be.
well,
Or crystal healing.
Daniela has said that she gets visions sometimes. So
Yeah.
just as a word of advice, Daniela, always remember that you are in charge of yourself and your abilities and what you're seeing. In what I mean is that if you connect to spirit, you connect to spirit on your terms. If you connect to universal energies, you
Good.
Connect.
She's saying she is.
Yes,
so good.
yes. So you connect on your own terms. So instead of just letting these visions sort of fly in and out in your everyday life, that will make you ungrounded, and that's not a good way to be able to live our lives.
I'd like to see a few more grounding crystals. If you're a bit like Kate, and you probably are, that you like the sparkly ones, maybe the pyrite. That
Yes.
would be a really good
So
grounding
I don't know
one.
if you can see this crystal. All the dark colours are pretty grounding as well.
Yeah.
Dark colour crystals, or a red crystal. So just to bring you down. But I mean, there's nothing wrong with what you're doing. There's nothing wrong
It's just
with,
balance.
with
isn't
your
it?
ability. It's a balance. But just do this on your own terms. So when you sit down and tune into your crystal, that's the time that you're allowing yourself and the energies that surround you to connect, and you're doing it on your own terms. So when you come out of that, make sure you're grounded and you just carry on with your real life. So you've got to keep them separate for us, because I think we've everyone who does this, we've all got a foot in both worlds,
Yeah.
haven't we?
Yeah.
So we need to earn our money and pay our bills and live in the real world, and then we can go off on
And also, when you sort of connect with spirit, if you're not grounded, then it's harder for you to communicate the information you're getting through sometimes. So, so being grounded is just as important as being able to connect. I understand probably for you it's much more. Yeah, she uses hematite in meditation. Good girl.
Good, well done.
Yeah, it's just a question of balance and making you coherent in the information that you get through for spirit. Some people prefer to, we talk about people having their heads in the clouds. Some people prefer to be in that space because it's a much nicer space than the day-to-day grind that a lot of us have to get through. But
so Daniela, you say you use hematite in your meditation. Is that just intuitive skills you're working on, or have you looked up the information, or have you got the information somewhere?
Hundreds of crystals. Okay. Daniela, you need to maybe look at doing crystal healing. I think with hundreds of crystals, you want to be putting those crystals to work now.
Yeah.
Okay. Just another note on the pyrite that might interest you as well, Daniela, if you've got so many crystals, is to look at the shape of your crystals. I touched on sacred geometry, and when we're working with crystals, sacred geometry is also giving us a clue to the energy of the crystal as well, the quality of the crystal. Maybe, try and win my book.
Yes,
That might
yes,
help.
win the
You've got
book.
loads.
Yes. Pick the crystal up again.
Okay, I'm going to pick it up again.
Competition time.
Let's try.
I hope that's helped, Daniela.
Yeah.
One more.
Got another one coming now.
Okay, we've got one more.
Not sure if this is a photograph or a reading.
There's a photograph.
Photograph.
Okay.
And this is by Kelly.
Right. I can't. It looks like moonstone at the bottom, but I can't. The picture's a little
or
bit.
is it
Unicite?
or is it a jasper? That looks like a little bit of kyanite at the top.
Yeah.
left,
Does Daniela know what these crystals are? Because the picture is.
No, it's not Daniela. Kelly.
Kelly, sorry. Does Kelly know what the crystals are? Not that it matters. We can probably try and do a reading from these.
Is it bright enough for a peacock, or is it?
No, I don't think so. Okay, well let's try, and this is challenging, isn't it? Because we're going to tune in, we're not really sure what
yes,
these are, but
what's that one? Is like chub, a sort of grounding.
yeah, it could be. So I'm going to go for the top one, top right hand, the biggest one in the picture. And can everybody see these, Richard?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, so I'm going to go for the top one when I have a, maybe when we come off there, Daniela, if you, is it Kelly? Kelly, when we come off there, Kelly, if you don't know what they are, I think Richard will put my email up, email me and send me the photograph and I'll have a look and see if I can identify them for you. But I wonder if I'm getting a kind of Lord of the Rings feeling from that top right hand corner.
Yes, yeah.
So I wonder if you are maybe somebody that can be quite imaginative as well and quite a creative thinker. What else am I getting from that? I'm getting myths and legends, but I don't know why.
Well, then there might be an ancestral element to that.
Okay.
And some clearing. Well, that's what I'm picking up.
You might be right,
and
actually.
Some,
Akashic records,
yes,
sort of past life stuff.
Yeah.
I don't know if there might be things that you're working on at the moment for yourself that might be clearing past lives. I don't like talking about past lives because it's so difficult to prove it. You know, if it's in the real world.
But if it's something that resonates with Kelly, we're not sure what you're into, Kelly, but perhaps we'll say what we're getting, and then you can. Oh, she's just answered.
She's just answered.
Okay. Oh no, that's Daniela's.
Okay, we're just changing over screens. We're just waiting for Kelly to. Yeah, there's only one of Richard.
It's only one of Richard.
We've got to wait for Richard just change the screens over.
I think we say what we get, and then you can pick your truth out of that.
We've still got Daniela's on the screen, Richard, at the moment. But it's okay, I can talk about the other one. I wonder if there are... Moonstone for me, that it may not be Moonstone, but...
Okay.
The crystal for me, though, looks very similar to Moonstone, so I'm going to go with it. Okay, so we're still waiting.
That's all right. We can talk about.
Okay, Unakite. Okay, so
Unakite,
that right. Okay, I said it might be, didn't I? But it's quite difficult. So azurite is okay. All right. Okay. All right. So the Unakite would.
Oh, so that was lapis azurite. Unakite at the bottom.
Yeah, Unakite
Yes.
in the bottom.
Yeah.
So I was going to sort of talk about. Well, I was going to talk about female problems, but I was going to talk about balancing your emotions anyway, and Unakite for me would be about balancing emotions. And I don't know if you are in circles where they see you overly emotional or overly sensitive to certain things, and it's about feeling slightly out of balance with other people. That's what I was picking up on the Unakite, I think.
The cyclical is what I'm getting as well.
Well, that's where I was thinking.
Yes.
Moonstone.
Oh yes, of course. That's what I got.
But I think we just forget about what the name is and just give what we're getting. I think that's probably better.
Water. Yes. So I'm getting water. With you Moonstone, but I got water cyclical.
Yeah.
So then I'm looking at
that's the sort of sensitivity and
yes,
the emotions.
Yes,
so,
emotions, because water holds the emotions.
And maybe the okay, so the azurite may well be about you withdrawing and withdrawing into your own world, your own particular world, because people don't sort of resonate with you. They don't understand you, or you feel slightly misunderstood. Sort of a square peg in a round hole, I think. A lot of us on a spiritual path feel that at some point. You know, we feel like people don't... dream work, okay. A lot of us on the spiritual path feel that, so that's where the imagination comes in with the azurite.
Yes, yeah.
Okay, but I feel like you perhaps maybe have developed spiritually quite a lot, and you're a little bit out of sync with people in your lives at the moment. That's right.
Yes. Yeah.
So yeah, it's just about being patient. I think people will catch up with you. I don't feel like you've got to ditch all your friends and go off and make new spiritual friends.
I don't get the feeling that it matters to you that much. You are aware of it, and quite often, if we do this kind of work, we're aware of it. So you know, I guess the spiritual friends that we have are the ones that we connect most closely to on that level, because it actually exposes your vulnerability completely. Whereas, you know, my other friends are just as good, and I just get this feeling that you carry on in life as you do, but you are aware that there is this difference. You have this ability to connect to universal energies, and I feel like it's quite a powerful one, quite a strong a strong ability.
That's probably
that you
why she's
have.
out of sync with everybody.
Yes,
she's sort of, she's
you're
the
on a
sensitivity's there.
different plane, or there's a different facet to your life. So.
Unfortunately, Kelly, what happens when you go on a spiritual path is when I started, and I'm talking 25 years ago now, but I was so excited. I used to go around telling everybody, and I got a bit fed up with people taking the mickey out of me and thinking I was being flaky and I didn't know what I was talking about. When
More
I was so
acceptable
passionate
nowadays. But
yeah, but it did make me feel out of step with a lot of my friends to start with, and then I just accepted that, I in a way they kept me grounded. So. I didn't sort of lose track of them, but then I found other people that could, like Kate, that could, where I could talk about all of this stuff and she would get it without me feeling that I was flaky, and Kate the same.
Yeah.
So I think you just find people that you can relate to in that feel. Okay, so that fits for you.
Yeah.
Yeah, don't worry about it. I think it takes all sorts, and if you're working spiritually, what happens sometimes is that people suddenly catch up with you. And maybe that's why you're a little bit ahead of the game. You can be there to bring them up to speed.
The other thing I'm getting with Kelly is that, yes, carry on regardless.
Yeah.
But Kelly, the other thing I'm getting from you is an ability to switch this light on for other people. So when your friends or family or various people, when the time is right, they'll come to you for advice, and you will be able to give them you will be able to perhaps show them something that other people aren't able to.
I think they do that anyway now, because I think the sensitivity that she's got means that she's quite... Actually, who was that young lady that we were telling to go and find somebody?
Was that Christine?
We could do with putting those two together,
yes,
really.
Yes, exactly. I think that, yes, you're one of the light workers, and you're showing that light to various people who are around you. Yeah, so great healing ability there, Kelly.
And I suspect she's got a good sense of humour as well. So keep that will keep you going as well.
Yes.
Don't take it too seriously.
I never got it when I was going. Okay, all right. So that's it. Well, don't let it go, Kelly, because they say these things go in cycles of 7 years. So by the time you get to our dinosaur age, you could have lost it completely, which we probably have, haven't we? But
I've got to a point, in my life now where I feel so privileged to be doing what I'm doing, that I feel sorry for people that don't get it, rather than feeling irritated. And I certainly don't feel like I have to convince everybody in the world about it anymore.
Yes. Thank you, Shona. Thanks for watching, Shona.
Take care.
Shona. Take care. Yeah.
And Kelly, just keep going. I think you're doing everything you need to be doing.
Yes. Great things, Kelly. Great things. Well done. Brilliant. Let's check this.
Yeah, so, Rhonda, you're quite right. I think it's so important to have a community with this, with what we do. And sadly, at the moment, it's difficult. You can't go to spiritual churches. And,
so people's perception can make you feel as if you're a bit odd. That's right, but the growth in you is when it doesn't matter. Yeah. Because odd is as odd does. It doesn't matter. Yeah. Who's a bit odd? Who's judging us to be a bit odd? So I think you're spot on there, and we have to get to a point in life where it doesn't matter what other people think.
Do you know what? I mean, it's not just spiritual stuff now, is it? There was Brexit, there's loads of duality. It's whether you believe in COVID, whether you believe in face masks and everything. So there's loads of duality around where the people are on different sides of the fence. Yeah. And I think it's silly to fall out with people just because you've got a different perspective.
Exactly. So do you have a belief? Don't you have a belief? Anything, black is white. Well, you can argue any points, but the most important thing is that if you're brave enough to walk and talk your truth, I think that's what it boils down to, really. Well, for me,
and do you know what? Accepting that some people do get what they need by going to a conventional church, whereas other people get it from just walking in the woods.
Yes.
It's that sort of contemplation and that sense of inner peace.
Pleasure, Kelly. Thanks for showing us
Yeah.
that. Yeah. Okay, so
Just waiting for some more things to come up on the screen.
okay.
Okay, so Spiritual TV would like you to, well, and we would as well, like you to help grow the station and support it by sharing as many of the shows that you can.
Okay, and the Gillian Norma show coming up later tonight from 8 p.m. Psychic artist working with colour and feathers. So that's from tonight at 8 p.m. UK time, the Gillian Norma show.
Ricky and Tyler are going to be doing readings with a sparkle.
Yeah.
Maybe they're going to be using
Yes,
crystals as well.
Tuesday night from 10:30
10:30
p.m. and that's UK time as well. So that's Ricky and Tyler readings with a sparkle.
YouTube.com.
Yeah, that would be great to watch. That would be great. Yeah. Okay, and coming up is a trance demonstration, and that's on Sunday the 6th of December from 7:30 p.m. That's Polly Hartnett and Leah. So that should be amazing. We've done a bit of trance, and well worth tuning into that.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
And
So-
non-patrons are £10. Patrons are 8, so you can save some money. And angel members
Yes.
are getting that for £5.
Yes, yeah. So become a patron. Yeah, that's our advice.
I'm going to
really,
tune
isn't
into
it?
that one.
Yes, yeah. I think we'll be tuning in to watch some of these. So that's great, really. Yeah. So have we got any more questions, Richard? What's coming up? Great if you've joined us. Thanks, Kelly.
Oh, Kelly, thank you. That was very kind.
About the competition, because a few people asked me, they don't understand what's going on.
Okay, so Rich, the competition is to get a copy of this book. Richard wants me to sign it, so I'll sign it if you want.
Signed by Shirley, author.
A
Shirley's
copy
the
of this
author.
book. And what I've done through the session is I picked a crystal up, and you've got to identify what crystal I picked up when I said competition.
Yes.
So,
So we will do it one more time.
will we? Okay. I
I'm a
will do it.
soft touch.
I'll give you a clue. It's on my side of the table, so I will do it one more time.
You'll do it one more time, and then
Love to you, Paul.
Love to you, Paul. Thanks, Paul.
Thank you. Hope you enjoyed it.
And then you'll win this book. And as I keep telling everybody, it's got photographs of me in it. That's why it's going to be a
Why don't you
wonderful
show
book
a
to win.
photograph of you?
No, I wouldn't. No, that would upset our display.
It would. It would.
Which we took hours setting up, didn't we?
But if you don't win, you can get it on Amazon anyway.
Yeah.
So it's available on Amazon.
Absolutely.
As
And well worth it. Oh my goodness, it is an amazing book. It'll tell you everything you need to know about crystals.
It's practical, actually.
It's practical.
Not. It won't tell you what the crystals do. What it would do is show you how to actually use them.
The way Shirley and I work is about empowering people. So we don't tell you that you should be doing this or you should be doing that. We like to help people understand the way they think and feel when you go to choose your own crystals and how those crystals will work for you. So we simply suggest, but we know that the
This
powers
blue
within
oval
you.
one is a lapis lazuli. That one. Quite heavy.
It's going to really shout out the word competition. The first person who answers with the crystal name will win the prize.
Okay.
Not before.
All right.
Okay,
So
When we shout out the word competition.
competition. Yeah. When we
Not yet, but
not
No.
not yes. So when we shout out, when
So
you
if
hear
you
us
know
shout,
if you know what the crystal is that we've been referring to all the time, you need to. We're going to say competition, and then you need to let Richard know what it is.
yes,
and he'll
yeah, first one,
let us know the first person.
the first
We'll give
person,
out your name,
exactly. Yeah,
but not before.
but not before. Yeah.
So have we got any more readings, Richard? Or
yeah.
oh, we have. Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
lots of. Might run out of voice soon.
Okay, we're just waiting for Richard to put it out. We're putting lots of pressure on Richard.
Yes, poor Richard. Don't think he's going to fight us back, do you? Come on, Richard, hurry up.
Come on, Richard.
I'm drawn to the green grid. In the
Oh,
front
very pretty. That's
Vivian,
a very Kate,
hello.
yeah.
That's my goodness. That's a very me grid, Vivian. It's got all sparkly
Yeah,
bits.
and it hasn't got a crystal in the middle of it. It's got a shell. So we work with all sorts of things, and I usually use shells when I feel people are burnt out. So and they have a lovely, when people are sitting in the grid or laying in the grid, they experience a lovely sort of dreamlike quality when I work with them. Do you find that the same, Kate? Or are you
Yes.
different? Same?
Yes, it's for me it's very supportive to a heart that's probably given a lot out, would you say? Emotional, maybe not emotional, harsh, well, tired, yes, as you said, tired out, and the fluorite round it and the honey calcite, beautiful colour, all relating to the heart chakra because of the green. But there are lots of other colours within there, so you can do colour readings. You can take the energy off the stones. Really lovely.
I think it's somebody who's probably been working quite hard at the moment, holding everything together for other people. So I don't know if you live alone, Vivian. I don't get the sense that you do. I think you're probably the linchpin of the family, and if it's not about living alone, it might be a family or friends or work colleagues maybe, where people come to you a lot for emotional support. And it could well be that, not that you've overdone it, but you just need a bit of R&R really, and a little bit of upliftment yourself. Do you want to?
I feel like you're quite an organised person. I feel that you have, well, I think there's a good balance between, work and play there. But it might be that you're just giving too much of yourself away. And of course, the green, then we could go for the healing that's needed for you. And then healing is a pretty generic term, but I do feel that perhaps you need something to strengthen, and I'm talking on a physical level now. Healing is needed on all levels, so we're talking mental, emotional, physical and spiritual, but I think that perhaps something restorative physically would benefit all of those energies, would you?
Yeah, there could be you could have been through or just about to go through a period of growth and regeneration as well. So I'm wondering if there are changes in your life that could be happening right now or beginning to happen that are actually stirring up emotions. It almost feels like you're leaving one thing and moving into something else. So I'm getting a sense of sort of nostalgia of looking back, but actually that you need to look forward, and that's what the yellow calcite is bringing in as well. So a need for a bit of rest and recuperation, but also you will be, more action coming. Kate's writing something down.
No.
What we do normally is when we're getting things through,
Yeah.
while somebody else is talking, we write things down. So I just saw Kate writing. So
Have you got any feedback, Vivian? This is such a lovely grid. Yes, I mean, to me, it's sort of giving too much of yourself away, but a good balance, but a need
just a bit of rest and recuperation from that.
Yes.
Yeah, if we don't hear from Vivian, what we'll do is we'll move on. But,
Yes.
yeah, I think it's a
Good choice, Vivian.
Yeah, to
Beautiful
sum up,
grid.
I think just a bit of rest and recuperation, Vivian, and knowing that things are going to move forward for you, and don't look back.
Yeah. Hope that helps, Vivian.
Okay. We're going to move on to the
Okay.
next one. Richard's working us quite hard today. Okay, so Sarah wants a reading from the Tiger's Eye. Now we've already done that one, Sarah. So we're still gonna read from it, but forget everything we said before, because we're picking up on your energy, not just the crystals. Okay.
Yes.
So that's this one.
Yeah.
So
Sorry.
that's all right. It's not my phone. It's Richard's, but we'll carry on. Okay. So what I think here is. Upliftment. I think there's a bit of creativity that needs to come through as well. I feel like you feel blocked. I feel like you can't move forward, and you feel a bit trapped. I feel there's a tiredness around that as well, and that you're kind of tired of keeping on, and that you want an end to the relentlessness of how you feel at the moment. And I don't feel that that's going to be long in coming, to be honest. I feel like you know, it's a change of mind. I think that mindset that needs to come in.
I think I'm just picking up some issues around that area, sort of around the digestive area. That could be physically impacting on your energy. I don't know if you've got a specialised diet or something like that. Just picking stuff up from the solar plexus area, which could be making you physically feeling a bit low, so that you don't have the energy to mentally keep yourself going, if that makes sense. So I want to give you a good dose of energy, is what I want to do. Is that what you said? I wasn't.
Yeah,
I was just tuning in myself.
Yeah. I think it feels like you've been on a treadmill for quite a while and you're tired of it and you want to get onto another treadmill maybe, and getting the sort of energy to sort of generate the impetus.
So she says she feels trapped.
Okay.
This is what we can feel.
Getting the energy to make changes that will actually move you forward. You kind of, it's like, oh, I'll do it tomorrow. Oh, I'll leave it. I can't do it now. I can't think about it right now. So I feel like I'm just trying to think what the antidote would be. So I think it's self-worth, and I think it's all about you're doing a little bit of work on yourself, to be honest.
I feel it just takes one thing. It just takes you to change one thing
to motivate you,
because it feels like this is it feels to me like you're in a catch-22 situation. So just one thing, just have the courage. And so this is about empowerment really as well. Just have the courage to change one thing in your life. And once you set the intent and you're able to change that, you might feel like it's a game of dominoes. You know, all your barriers just keel over, and you free yourself up a bit.
I'm really being drawn to the rose quartz as well. It feels like you need to work on your self-esteem as well. You need to feel that you're worth making an effort for, and I mean, rose quartz is unconditional love, but you know, it can also be about relationships, whether it's with children or friends or, you know, personal relationships, whatever it can be. But it's also about the relationship we have with ourselves. She's a carer for a dad, and it's hard.
So that is
so
very
the self-love
I do sympathise.
So it's like you're giving all. Like what I was saying about the rose quartz is you need a bit of rose quartz for yourself. So it is hard. It's very hard, especially at the moment, because you're even more trapped to a certain extent, aren't you, because of lockdown. And
being a carer is one of the most difficult jobs in the world, I think. And then with everything that's going on at the moment, you know, hats off to you. You're doing an amazing job. Just give yourself a pat on the back. I know it's not enough. I know it's not enough to change things, but you know.
And Sarah, I feel like one of the ways that you can actually make some of those changes is to explore doing Zoom courses, Zoom workshops, and try and learn something new that excites you. Now that might be crafts, it could be doing some sort of little workshops, and this sounds going to sound like it's a commercial for us, but it's not.
By the way.
But it is. But on Esoteric Updates, with Lucis College that I run, that's for practitioner training, but on Esoteric Updates, we do low-cost, affordable workshops on Zoom
for this
entirely
this
really.
reason. You know, so many we got the website up and running because there were so many people who struggled emotionally with lockdown, and it's just to let people know that actually there are get out clauses, and even if that's just spending an hour of your time for yourself. But even if it's not our courses, just find something that will take you away from the situation that you're in, and that you can do a bit of personal development as well. It might make you feel better about a situation. Coming to the situation with a different outlook might help. There are all sorts of things. There are all sorts of self-help tools. Pretty tough job.
But yeah, I definitely feel you need to explore Zoom, but only do things that you really, really want to do. Yeah, that you're really drawn to. Don't just think, oh, I'll do that because it'll be good for me. You've really got to have that instinct or that gut instinct that that's what you want to do.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Well done, Sarah. Yeah.
But yeah.
Hope that helps.
Yeah. And keep up the good work, really.
Yeah, definitely.
Very hard for you.
I'm feeling.
Oh, thank you, June.
Thank you, June. That's really sweet of you.
We've been teaching a long time.
We have.
So,
we're old hands at it.
We're old hands.
We're old hands at it.
Oh, okay, June. She works with shells and
Wow.
fossils as well.
Oh my goodness.
And pebbles
Yeah.
too. They all have lovely energy. You're quite right, June. I'd be interested to know, June, whether you feel that the shells do the same thing. I always use them when people are burnt out, when I'm doing crystal healing. Other people work with metals as well. So silver is seen as sort of, moon energy, if you like, or feminine energy, and gold is masculine energy.
Yeah.
And with crystals, copper is seen to accelerate the energy of crystals. So sometimes you see copper wound around crystal wands and dowsers and things, and that's supposed to intensify the energy. So it's not just crystals, and some of the things that we think are crystals are not even technically crystals. So amber is not technically a crystal because it hasn't got an internal structure, but I'm getting technical.
Yeah, getting technical.
So Sarah's just come back and said that she's done a couple of mediumship courses. Sarah, if that's what makes your heart sing, then do it.
Yeah.
Okay. If
Yeah.
if it's not flowing and you don't feel joyful doing it, look at something else. Okay, or join a different mediumship course, because
Yes.
some people teach in different ways. We tend to be
Yeah.
quite light-hearted, really. We like it to be fun.
We like it. Yes, we bring
Not
we
too
like to bring a
serious.
humour to it because. Yeah.
Michelle Rhodonite was drawn to the grid with what's like
5 selenite sticks. They're not selenite. They're rose quartz.
They're rose quartz, but they're
Yes.
quite pale rose quartz,
That's it
Michelle.
as well. It's,
And we
yeah.
yeah, and okay, it's not amethyst either. It's not your fault. It's the colour sort of sometimes comes across wrongly, and that's why it's a bit difficult sometimes, unless it's a really high definition picture for us to identify the crystals that you're sending in. This is a piece of peacock ore. It looks a bit like bismuth as well. That's
I was just going to say it's like bismuth. That's another piece of peacock. That's peacock ore,
yeah,
isn't it? Yes,
yeah.
that's a different
Just
one.
get different colours,
Yeah.
really. But that's a bit of peacock ore, and this is these are rose quartz points, and they're pointing inwards rather than outwards. So when I used that grid before, I sometimes point them outwards, but today I pointed them outwards and then turned them in again. So for me, it's about introspection for you. It's about just going into your inner shell, and I feel like there's talking about spiritual development all the time, but I feel like you need to go a bit introspective and look at your gifts, the gifts that you have.
Answers as well. I feel that you could have some questions, but they're questions that you know the answer to. You may be looking for some validation from the people or from what you're doing around you, but you don't actually need that validation, and you've got all the answers inside, and there's a lot of potential. So as soon as you practice that introspection, I think you'll start to get the answers, but you'll start to unlock stuff.
Michelle, I think you're strong-willed as well. I think you know your own mind. Yeah, it is rose quartz. Well done. I think you're strong-willed, and I think you know your own mind. And I think there are times when nobody can tell you anything, but more often than not, you're right.
Yeah, yes. I think this is. Did you say unleash the potential? That's what I'm feeling here.
I can't remember when I
don't remember. I don't
No.
remember. When we tune in, we can't remember what we've said. So I feel that that's about unleashing the potential, and perhaps with a bit of love for yourself, a bit of self-love. We all need to practice a bit more of that.
I think there might be people around you that feel that you should, you should be doing things for them, and I'm sure you do. But I think right now it's a bit of me time that's required in terms of doing what you want to do, which could be spiritual development.
Well, serious,
it could also
yes,
be,
yeah.
It may not be spiritual development. Confirmation for things. Yeah, good girl. Okay.
Yes.
So, but it may be spiritual development. It may also be a new career path where somebody thinks you're balmy going down, you know, you might have a job or something that everybody thinks that's fine, what do you want, where do you want more? But actually you want more and you feel that you're capable of more. So don't let people hold you back, is what I feel as well.
I think I think we don't need to let's say maybe usually turn out oh no, well,
don't do that, Michelle, don't self-sabotage.
but usually turn out to be wrong. But then there's some turn that you need to do here. There's a reason. So instead of you say you're turning out to be wrong, there's a reason that's happened. So be reflective, look at it, look at the reason, look at what happened. Don't self-sabotage. There's a reason that these things happen, and it's because you need to be a bit more introspective and reflect. If you reflect, you learn and you grow and you trust yourself. So
and Michelle, when I'm teaching my students that do the practitioner course with me, I want them, when they're doing their case studies, to make mistakes, because that's the best way that they learn. So making a mistake is not the end of the world, it's also a really good learning curve.
Yes. Yeah.
So don't let that stop you from pushing forward, right? There's huge potential there.
Definitely, Michelle.
Just have a bit of belief in yourself.
Yeah, do. I don't know, I'm beginning to burn out a little bit. Yes.
Okay, we're finishing at 2, I think, so we've got time. How do you tell... 3 o'clock, yeah. How do you tell between a genuine crystal or a fake crystal? Well, Pamela, it depends what you think is a fake crystal and what you think is a genuine crystal. If you... snowflake obsidian, I haven't got any here at the moment. Well, I've got some behind me, but I won't bother getting them because we're running short of time now. Snowflake obsidian is volcanic lava. And so, or volcanic glass rather, and that has no internal structure, so that is considered to be a fake. Opalite is man-made. That's opalite. That's man-made, but it does have an energy, so we use them. So it's very difficult, really. There are things that they do to crystals to enhance them that are fake. So you can buy crystals that have like a starburst on them, and that can be just put into the crystal. So that's fake. It's not as sorry, we're just getting a bit of feedback from Michelle. Do you want an online Reiki course? Don't do online, Michelle. Don't do online Reiki. If you check with the UK Reiki Council, online Reiki courses are not recognised.
No.
So try not to do that, and go where somebody is registered with the UK Reiki Council. It's been regulated now. It's really important when you're doing any form of practitioner courses that you check that you can get insurance to practice.
Look for a regulating body, governing body. I mean, for instance, the crystal governing body. Crystal
Therapy Council is the governing body for crystal therapy. So they set out rules and regulations and a core curriculum of what you should be taught. An online Reiki course wouldn't be recognised because you have to have attunements with Reiki, and you're supposed to have those face to face.
Yes, definitely.
So at the moment, because of lockdown, unless I'm misinterpreting, because of lockdown, for example, I'm teaching Reiki, I'm teaching all the theory over Zoom, but actually when they come, they have to come to me for an attunement, and they also have to do case studies, and I need to see them work, so I have them in front of me when I see them work. But if you go on the UK Reiki Council, you'll see the core curriculum, and so do try and get your money back if you're paid already.
Yes, yeah. And it's the same with learning crystals, Don't do it with just anybody. Make sure that
Michelle, if you want to email me privately, I'll have a discussion with you about the particular college. I don't know where you live, but I can make recommendations and so on of where you can maybe explore possible courses that will be recognised. It's the same with any form of complementary therapy, ladies and gentlemen. You need to make sure that you can get insurance to practice afterwards.
Yes,
okay.
yeah.
So I think Richard will put out my email for anybody that's got any questions.
And always that the people who are teaching you are empowering you.
Yeah.
Because that's the most important thing about this. This is your personal development, and you need to be empowered by your teacher.
So
maybe
we just need to go back to the other crystal, the question about a real crystal and a fake crystal.
Yes, yeah.
As I say, opalite is man-made, so technically that's a fake crystal. Some people don't like crystals that have been shaped because they feel that that's not the natural formation. Some people will only work with natural formations like this. These are actually fake. These have been artificially coloured as well. But they can also put waxes onto crystals to protect them. Calcite often has like a waxy coating to it. So there's lots of things that they do.
This is a calcite. I don't know if
no, that's fluorite.
Oh, fluorite. That's a
fluorite. And that's
but
a natural formation.
That's
got a waxy feel to it.
That's
no,
good.
it's fine.
That's got quite.
No, it hasn't got any. It doesn't
Doesn't
see
have
that
any wax on
calcite
it.
there. That
This
red
one.
calcite. You feel that?
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, oh yeah. So then you can see actually the shine on that one.
Yeah. That's been sort of enhanced to make it more sparkly, I suppose.
Yeah.
So you can now, because you've got the internet, you can go on the internet and you can Google and you can tell the difference. But you know, there are crystals where they can actually get a laser and put like an angel in the middle of them and things like that. All of that is, well, it depends whether you think it's fake or not.
Yeah.
You know, it's down to personal preference. So I can't really give you a simple answer to that. Okay, we're going to get one more question, I think. We've just got time for one more question. Competition.
You're going to hold it up.
Oh, have I got to hold it up?
No,
No, don't have to. Right, quickly. Say which crystal it was. Right, Chrissy Tink. That's a nice name. That's a good name for you, Kate, actually. It's very you.
I've got a little dog called Tinks.
What are the best crystals to create a calming energy? Okay, so when we're looking at crystals, we're looking at the colour of crystals. And if we look at the colour wheel, we have one side of the colour wheel, we have warm crystals, and on the other side of the colour wheel, we have cool crystals, or cool colours rather. And it's the cool colours that you want to create a calming energy. So those cool colours would be blues and greens and purple to a certain extent, or that has a dash of red in it. That would create a calming energy, okay? But just be aware that too much calming can be a bad thing. It can, especially in the current climate with being isolated and so on, you know, it can make you feel even more lonely and more apart.
Think about the saying, feeling blue.
Yeah. So if you're going to get crystals for a calming energy, then I would say probably blues or greens. These ones that are on the table, the fluorite and the blue calcite, lovely calming energy. But I would also get an antidote, so get some orange or some orange carnelian or orange calcite just when you need it. Just when you need a bit of get and go.
Yeah.
Okay.
So what is the answer to the question?
So what is the answer to the question? Can I give them the answer now,
Yeah.
Richard? Yeah. So the answer to the question was this is a crystal skull.
Amethyst.
Amethyst crystal
We were
skull.
asking, I think we were
Does it matter if we say amethyst crystal skull?
Well,
or
anything.
just I think crystal skull.
we're looking for
Are you saying if someone says amethyst or first person say crystal skull?
First person to say crystal skull, I think that's because it's quite difficult to see the colour. This could be fluorite
Yes,
if
yes,
somebody were looking
exactly.
at it. So we'll say with the structure of this one,
First person say
crystal skull.
first person say because we got two people killing.
Okay, we've got a tiebreaker, I think, going
No,
on.
you have, because you've got one person saying crystal skull and the first person saying amethyst.
Crystal skull.
You want crystal skull. That's Kelly McKeaton.
Kelly,
Okay.
well done.
So Kelly, you've won.
All right.
So I will write this. I'll sign your name in the book as well
Do
as
you want
mine.
to do it now, Lauren?
Yes.
I'll do
Oh,
it now
yes,
live
you
if
can
you
do.
like.
Okay, go.
Okay.
You got.
Kelly, Richard, does Kelly spell it Kelly?
I'm spelling for you.
Thank you.
There we are. Kelly.
Okay. I feel like I already know you, Kelly, so I'm not going to put your surname in.
Oh my goodness, you'll love this book, Kelly.
There you go.
If you put it up so you can see that.
Oh, okay. Just so you can see that I've written.
Yeah.
There you go. It's all signed for you, Kelly.
You look around a little bit so you can't really see.
Is that better, Richard?
Yeah, I do.
Okay. I've defaced your book now. I always feel like I can't get over the fact that you've never liked to write when I was at school on books. So I just feel guilty writing on
defaced
them.
it then.
Okay, Kelly. Well, enjoy it. I hope you get lots to play with inside there.
Yeah.
with crystals, so do use them.
Leave your contact details as well with Richard.
Oh yeah, leave your contact details with Richard.
Yeah, I'll send it to them.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Just get Kelly to send me an email with her address.
Kelly, can you send Richard an email with your address and we'll get that sent out to you, please? Okay.
Lovely then.
That's it.
Mm.
On screen is your website address.
Okay, so I think the website's coming up. So I'm not sure which one it is, but if it's luciscollege.com, that's the practitioner training that Kate and I do. And if it's www.esotericupdates.co.uk, that's a website we set up just at the beginning of the first lot of lockdown, really.
To try and it's uplifting.
We do channeling. We've got channeling that we've done that goes up there on a regular basis. We've got an astrologer that writes what's happening astrologically. We've got free fun things to do, and we've just literally set up an events page, which I'm just in the process of updating. So if anybody's interested in either of those, you can go both to those websites. Oh, thank you, Rhonda. She's just ordered my book.
Oh, lovely, Rhonda.
Yeah, if you go to the Esoteric Updates website,
Thank you, Christine.
or Lucis College, then what will happen is you can sign up for a newsletter on either of those.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
we update it hopefully once a month or so.
Yes. Yes.
So
yes, Mr. and Mrs. B.
thank you, Mr. and Mrs. B.
Thank you, ladies and Richard.
It's been fun doing it.
Yeah, it has been fun doing it. Thanks for your participation and thanks for watching us. Yeah. Thanks, Kelly.
Thanks, Kelly.
Thanks, Kelly.
And hopefully some of the messages we've given you as well will help you to move forward.
Yes, exactly. And also, if you resonate with some of the messages given to other people, take note of them. And
Maybe they were for you as well.
yes, maybe they were for you as well. Thanks, Christine.
Thanks, Christine. Thank you, Rhonda.
Thanks, Rhonda.
Enjoy the book.
Yes, yeah. I'll email
Okay, Kelly sent her address in, Richard.
Yeah.
Okay,
Brilliant.
you want to say goodbye?
Okay.
Yeah,
And,
thanks everybody
Thanks
so
everybody.
much.
We both enjoyed it.
And thanks to Richard for having us on.
Yeah, thank you, Richard.
If they want you to come back, you can do another one.
Yes, yeah.
If you want us to come back again,
Yeah, if you want
Mr.
us-
Richard.
Best to Richard. Let Richard know if you want us to
Yes,
come back.
comments.
Oh, just say yes in the comments.
Okay.
Yeah, just say yes in the comments now if you'd like to. If you'd like us to come back and do another crystal special. So thanks everybody. Thanks very much. And we'll disappear off now. won't we?
Yeah. Yeah. Put all our crystals away as well.
Just wait for my answer.
Oh.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.